Oh, how funny. I say Egypt and my iPad turns on. That's fun.
Another day, another dose of Delulu. That's how I feel when I wake up and check my social media feeds and see what's trending. And then I often have a lot of thoughts on it that I'm going to share with you guys. But up first, guys, we got to check in with Turning Point USA's AmFest conference they're having right now in Arizona. I've got some friends who are there right now. I hate to travel, and I'm not really going anywhere right now, but in another universe, maybe I'd be there covering it and discussing it, but I am following from afar with great interest. And oh boy, the tea is piping hot. So many beefs and feuds. One in particular I want to highlight is Erika Kirk, who of course is the widow of the late Charlie Kirk, the slain conservative activist. She's taken shots openly at Candace Owens, the YouTuber and podcast extraordinaire who spread all these conspiracy theories about her husband's death. They just had that meeting, which did not go well, apparently, or they said it did, but now we're seeing them continue to fight and Candace continue to spread the conspiracies. So maybe we need to reevaluate that a little bit. But yes, Candace got called out implicitly by Erika Kirk on stage at AmFest in front of thousands. Let's listen to this clip.
We have 40 breakout sessions, 178 sponsors, all 50 states represented. We have 25 countries represented plus Puerto Rico, but I have the list here. Don't worry, guys. Egypt is not on the list. Don't worry about that. But, oh, how funny. I say Egypt and my iPad turns on. That's fun. Where were we? Okay.
I mean, I'm glad she's having a good time with it. I am, but it really is batshit. Some of the stuff Candace has been saying. I just covered this the other day, but Candace's theories involving Egyptian planes and Erika Kirk are so crazy, and that's what Erika is joking about and referencing here, and most people in the room get the reference because this has been a huge story. She's joking about Candace suggesting that Erika is being surveilled by Egyptian military planes traveling all across the country. And the underlying story there is actually so insane that now Alex Jones and InfoWars are doing specials debunking it. That's how insane it is. They've lost Alex Jones, the biggest conspiracy theorist of them all, about like how the frogs are turning gay. I think that one might actually have a little grain of truth to it, funnily enough. Anyway, I find it, I'm glad she can joke about it, but it really is bizarre and it's crazy. The theory doesn't even make sense. Why would Egypt want Charlie Kirk dead? Why would they be involved in this plot against him with Israel and France and the feds and TPUSA insiders? And also, of course, the underlying data isn't true. It's not real. The Egyptian planes were not tracking Erika Kirk. She defined, Candace in her investigation defined an overlap as like in the same state plus or minus 3 days or something ridiculous. You can go look at the details of her spreadsheet, but basically if you both flew in and out of or if the plane flew through New York, like through JFK, and Erika Kirk was speaking in upstate New York, they would have counted that as a suspicious overlap. It doesn't actually make sense, especially because that would be the worst way to surveil someone. Yeah, let's send our military planes to follow them around with public flight tracking available. That's definitely something top secret government conspiracies would do, Candace. So she's joking about it, but this really does, and you can see this from the fact that Ben Shapiro and Tucker are both speaking at AmFest, and they both use their speeches to attack each other and to attack the vision that they represent. I do think that this burgeoning divide on the right is going to tear it apart, and they can't stay under the same tent while some people they're just drifting so far apart and they're clashing in such profound and fundamental ways. It will be interesting to see which side wins. I don't really consider myself a part of any of it anymore, but I'm still watching on with great interest and with sympathy for Erika Kirk. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I think she's handled everything amazingly, but to be under such an enormous spotlight after experiencing such a profound tragedy, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I really wouldn't. Guys, now we're going to look at the second thing Erika Kirk said that's making waves. First, though, do make sure to subscribe, like, comment, all of that. However, remember, you can also become a channel member to get ad-free, full, early episodes of the Brad vs. Everyone podcast uploaded only for members on YouTube. Please do consider becoming one now. It's the best way to support me and help me keep doing independent commentary. My views go up and down, and it's kind of hard to plan around. So the more of you that can help out and support me by becoming a member, the better. Now let's listen to the second clip that Erika Kirk from her speech at AmFest, where she seems to address the criticism that she's done too much media in the aftermath of her husband's death. And I think she has a pretty decent explanation for it, actually. Let's listen.
That's also why the past several months, several weeks, I honored my husband by completing all of his pre-planned fall media tour hits for his book, any commitment he had. I wanted to honor that for him. I wasn't going on a media tour myself. This was for my husband. Because in our household, our word is our bond. And when you give it, you uphold it.
So I've never even thought this makes sense as a line of criticism for Erika Kirk. If she wants to do media appearances talking about the loss she experienced and her family, and she wants to talk about her husband's book, which she's done extensively, and promote Turning Point USA, which is his life's work, I don't view that as her being a grifter or anything like that. And I'm not really going to judge somebody for how they grieve. This is a weird thing, grief. And some people, and I actually relate to this. I think that if I experienced, I thank God have not, but if I experienced a loss like that, I would probably respond by throwing myself into my work to distract myself, to take my mind off of it, not just silently grieve alone in my bedroom all day. I would find that to be, if anything, a worse way to handle it. So people are different, and I'm not one to pick apart how she's choosing to grieve, because I honestly think I would respond similarly and try to focus on the productive things I could still do that made me feel good and made me feel like I was making a difference. That's what I would do if I was in her situation, I suspect. And that seems like a pretty actually reasonable explanation. She's not just promoting herself where the whole Grieving Widow Act is fake. The commentary, I mean, people are really going after her in a way that I just find very uncouth. I mean, they're like dissecting old photos of her in a bikini and spreading rumors about who did she date before Charlie. It's like, leave the woman alone. Good grief, it's really getting out there. But she is officially fighting back, and not just against Candace Owens, but also against other people who have mocked her and trolled her in the aftermath of her husband's death, including the likes of Joy Reid, the left-wing pseudo-journalist commentator who was fired from MSNBC, and since leaving has somehow gotten even crazier and become even more toxic. Here's what Joy Reid had to say a little while back about Erika Kirk. Listen to this.
They can't have the successor to MAGA be the guy with the brown Hindu wife. They're also Christian nationalists. That ain't gonna work. That's why he's throwing his wife under the bus. Poor Usha. Or she's in on it, right?
And
she's
playing slap and tickle with Erika Kirk's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Yeah, she's like in her Tammy Faye era.
Okay. Holding on the back of his head and rubbing on his head.
Some weird shit.
Baby. Don't do that to Jason. I'm gonna start thinking something's going on. Why are you holding the back of his head?
They sicken me. They really, everyone in that clip. I've had it, ladies. Those wine mom liberal podcasters, Joy Reid, they're just so full of hate. Like, can't you just go after Trump, go after Republicans, criticize them all you want, but can't you leave Erika Kirk out of it? You really have to mock I don't know. It's just so distasteful. And it's all based on this absurd thing about how she hugged J.D. Vance. And if you just take a still of it, it looks very intimate. But if you actually just watch the video of the hug, it really doesn't. But also, like, she's hugged lots of people like that. She hugs females like that. It doesn't prove some kind of affair or secret plot to replace Usha, who is J.D. Vance's wife. All of it's made up and hysterical and nasty. But Erika did appear to reference this, because of course this was a mega viral controversy when it went down. Erika referenced this during her remarks at AmFest. Take a listen to this.
You also learned some unexpected things, like the fact that Joy Reid probably needs a really, really good hug. And honestly, I'm here for it if she needs it. I got a good hug for you. Good hug for you. I'll even touch the back of your head.
I mean, I think it's great. She can have a laugh about this, and she's can so comfortably engage with it and reference things that everybody's talking about. Everyone knows in that audience, at least, and many of the people looking online know about it as well. But I again just come back to this idea. I really cannot imagine being put under that big a microscope immediately after your husband and the father of your kids is brutally murdered. What a horrible experience. And I just am like so disgusted by anyone who has decided to make her life worse. Imagine of all the things you could do. And I think she is fair game for criticism, Erika Kirk, in her political advocacy and in her work that she's doing with Turning Point. So if you want to criticize that, she has chosen to take up the mantle there, to become the new leader of Turning Point. That is fair game. But going after this woman's old photos, her past dating, people have tried to prove she's lying about all sorts of random, irrelevant details that have nothing to do with anything from her past, and they actually have no idea, or like microanalyzing her hand placement on a hug. It's all so deranged and so nasty, and I think it represents a broader problem where we really have no standards anymore. Nothing is off limits. There's no dignity. There's no bright red lines in terms of basic civility and respect. We're like, yeah, we disagree. We have really strongly held opinions. I think your vision for the country is horrible and wrong, but I'm not going to like just try to destroy you personally and humiliate you and cause you pain and suffering. I mean, where is that? We need to bring that back in American politics. And I'm not going to pretend like it is only progressives who have ever engaged in that. I mean, Donald Trump obviously does that kind of thing all the time, but I think it's a toxic force in our politics, and that the way the liberal commentariat has handled Erika Kirk shows you how far things have gone and how like there's just no kindness. There's no nuance or space for our common humanity in a lot of this discourse, and I find it very demoralizing. I really do. But you guys, you'll have to let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure subscribed if you aren't yet. Hit the like button and yada, yada, yada.